All right. Welcome back to the Dad's Talk Sports podcast with Tommy Campus
Oh,
and
wow. Chris McGee.
Chris McGee. How you doing, McGee?
Sorry. I'm doing great. Sorry if my face looks a little bloated tonight. I just polished off about 5 slices of Domino's pizza.
Might be a little water weight in there. No big deal.
Little water weight, little water weight. That's okay. I'm planning on a big run tomorrow.
Love it. All right. So, what do you think? Plan for tonight? Little golf. Wrap up the Ryder Cup. I had a couple thoughts on what we got to do to change this U.S. streak, and then do a little college and NFL.
I'll give you the floor. You
All right.
you were excited. What are your thoughts on the
I,
changes?
I've been thinking about this a lot. Aftermath of the Ryder Cup, listening to some interviews with some of the players. Max Homa was out there doing some stuff, and I think it's pretty obvious what we got to do. So let me roll. Want to bounce some ideas off you.
I'll let you cook. Go.
All right. So biggest difference between U.S. and Europe, like the passion they want to be there more than we do. Right. Aftermath, we always hear about discontent. We got Xander's dad asking for more money, stuff like that. So first on the money thing, totally cool if they get paid, right? I feel like it's kind of like NCAA, NIL stuff. It's like if someone's making money, let the players make money. If no one's making any money, then like they shouldn't ask for more. But like if some PGA, exec is making $1 million off the Ryder Cup, then like you got to cut, Cantley and all these guys like a check. So, but why are we waiting until a month before the fucking event starts to iron that out? Let's get this hammered out. Let's spend like the next like couple months to figure out what we want to do. Everyone be fine with the decision, and let's not hear about Xander and his camp like not signing up until like 3 weeks before. Right? It's just a total distraction. Let's figure that out. Like, pay the guys if we can pay them. It seems like there's not much money to squeeze out of it, considering how many ads we saw during that whole thing. It seems like they're trying to pay for the rights. Like, if it's going to take another $10 million of sponsorship and more commercials, like, don't pay them. But if we can pay them. I don't really care. But, like, we got to figure this out now. We can't wait until right before the event. And now we hear about guys may or may not be, like, holding out because of money. That's number one.
Okay.
All right. Number two, we want guys who are going to want to be there. So I say take the absolute guaranteed guys from 6 to 4, make it more open tryouts for the last 8 guys, right? Like think about what goes right with like USA basketball, right? We just saw in the last week, right? They lost in the World Championships, and now Durant is like, I'm in, count me in. Embiid is like, count me in. We want redemption. I want guys that want to be there. So let's take down the number of guaranteed like points picks down to 4. So we open it up. Maybe we do take the next 4 guys plus some like the next 4 like maybe the 12th and 15th ranked, like kind of how it works out. But like opt in. I want it to be more like there's a couple guaranteed spots. Everyone else wants to be there, right? So if like Xander doesn't really want to be there for whatever reason, awesome. Like no big deal. Don't come to the tryouts, right? So I want it to be more of like an open competition for those last 8 spots. Like let's make it June, whatever it is. Bring them all to like Vegas or whatever. Like I'm thinking of like kind of the basketball model, right? Where it's like you got 20 NBA guys fighting for 12 spots. Let's do the same thing, right? And like only guys who want to be there, let's hash it out in advance and be like, okay, listen, if you want to do this, you got to sign up for a couple things. You got to sign up for an event in Europe within 3 weeks of the Ryder Cup, right? We need you to be there at least 1 week in advance. Homa, when he was doing his rounds, was like, hey, one thing I'd change is I would have everyone come there a couple days earlier because we were jet lagged the whole time. It's like, all right, that seems like an easy fix. Like,
Yeah.
free trip to Europe, get them over there, right? The whole European team played an event. We could barely get our guys to even like show up for a group practice, right? So it's like, all right, if you want to be on this team, you're signing up for 2 weeks in Europe. You're signing up for a European tour event. You're signing up for what are some of the other things? Yeah, like the pre-trip, like a month in advance rendezvous with the boys. Like none of those should be optional. It can't be like, hey, we got 9 out of 12 guys here for like the road trip. It's like if you're in, you're in. If you're out, you're out. So I want 100% buy-in, and I don't want people just showing up because they are like the fifth ranked guy, and they feel like, oh, go through the motions. I want everyone to be like, sign me up.
I agree with all this. That's it?
And then I heard then the last thing I really liked is one idea was to play. You remember hearing back like the original Dream Team? They played Krzyzewski and like a bunch of like Howard and all those guys, and like they manipulated where those guys actually beat him in the first scrimmage, and then
Yeah.
Jordan got all pissed off and like just romped him after that. Great idea that I heard was bring the Walker Cup team in to play the Ryder Cup team like a month in advance. Let like the young college bucks just like run wild, get the competitive spirit. Like you guys should all win 6-5, and see if like the young gun just get like the exact like replicate the experience of like that kind of competition. Do the alt ball, do all those kinds of things against like Walker Cup team or something like that. Or guys 13 through 24, right? And be like, hey, there's 4 spots up for grabs. Bottom 4 can slide out, top 4 can slide in.
Okay, we did not prep this beforehand, so these are just my.
That's just what I got.
Number one, I don't remember what the bonus pool is called, but the top 10 guys, like in terms of like
PIP?
social media, the PIP.
The
What
PIP,
PIP?
yeah.
Is it? Have something in there for the Ryder Cup. The PIP this year should be Ryder
Yeah.
Cup guys only.
$1,000,000.
Number two, it's their own players' fault, and their agents should have their sponsors have Ryder Cup kickers, like an NFL player has a Pro Bowl kicker.
Totally.
And then the tryouts. One thing I was thinking about. So there's the Zurich match play or Zurich team event.
Yeah.
Need to move that to like pre-playoffs. Like so that's only like a month or two out before the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
And all those guys have to play in it because it's the foursome format and the 4-ball format.
Yeah.
And then this year, for example, I think Homa and Morikawa were the only Ryder Cup guys to play that.
Yeah, usually I know Cantley and Xander. I feel like it played that in the past.
I think Cantley and Xander maybe played it. But I know Homa did for sure.
Yeah,
and he played great. And they should move that event closer. And then all those guys, if you want to be in the Ryder Cup, you should be playing that event for sure.
Yeah, so easy.
And absolutely, they have to play the week before. In
Like
it's a 2-week commitment in Europe. Fly over to Europe the week, like 14 days before. Prep for that tournament as if it's a regular tournament. Play Wentworth. Then boom.
What else are you doing? What else are you doing? Right? Like if it was like the big member tournament at like your club or whatever, you'd be like grinding on the range, getting some reps in, and these guys are like, no big deal. We'll just show up. We're 8 hours off. Or like the guys from coming to the West Coast, going to Rome. Was that like a 9-hour time difference? Like, yeah, that's gonna be tough. How do you just roll up and think it's gonna work out?
And it's different for the Euros in the U.S. because the 11 out of 12 of the Euros live in the U.S.
Yeah, so those guys basically did the plan, right?
Like Florida or Texas or
right.
wherever they are.
Rory goes from Jupiter over to Wentworth, right? He's over there for like a couple of weeks.
For the Euros in 2 years coming here, like all of them are already going to be living here.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, no, totally. Like half the guys live over here, but all the U.S. based European guys did what our guys should have done, which was go over, get acclimated, and then cruise right down, and you're ready to go. So I don't know. It just seems like own goals all over the board and just like basic stuff. If you really want to win this thing, that's why it's like if you don't want to do that stuff, opt out. Like no big deal. If you're the fifth guy and you you're not into it, you don't want to like partake in like the 5 things to do to lead up, no big deal.
You got to be ready to go Friday morning in Europe.
Yeah.
In that format.
How
often were Scotty and Burns playing together in that format leading up?
Yeah. No, from what I've heard in the last like few days is those guys weren't doing much alt shot practice because they just needed to like get reps in for their swings because they're rusty. Right? So if you're rusty, you're not like, hey, I want to hit, half the shots on like a 4 hour round. Like, no, you're going to go and you're going to take all the reps. And then all of a sudden, like, I don't know your game and all that good stuff. So anyway, we got to win that thing next time. We have to. It's so basic.
They're gonna. I think the Euros have a great shot in America at Bethpage, just with the
Oh,
studs that they have up top.
oh,
They have three
totally.
of the four top. You can even argue, it depends on Scotty. Scotty's a ball striking machine, but Hovland, Rom, Rory are 100% three of the top five in the world right now.
If the U.S. Open was going back to Bethpage in 2 years, those would be 3 out of the 4 top guys favored, right? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, does long
I
and
have
straight
another take
work?
on the Ryder
Yeah,
Cup.
long and straight works.
Stop being so nice as the captain. I'm gonna go with my dogs, my portal dogs, as Dion says. I'm just going with my top guys. Stop feeling obligated to play all your guys before singles.
Exactly.
Why? Like
Yeah,
Hogard played one. Hogard played once, right before
yeah.
singles. He was their weakest guy.
Twice, whatever it was. Yeah, yeah,
Like if I'm a Euro, like Euro played Hovland and Rory all 5 rounds. Rom sat out one.
yeah.
Um, I'm going, if I'm America, I don't know what the order was, but I'm going, Scotty, you're playing all 5. Patty Ice, you're playing all 5. And if there's hurt feelings, there's hurt feelings. If you're captain's pick, the 11th guy on the roster, you don't see in the Major League Baseball playoffs, hey, we got to get every bullpen guy here, an inning.
Totally. Yeah. No. You want
Just
guys
go
like
with your guys, your top guys.
yeah. No, like
If
you
we're
kind
gonna
of want
lose,
a
let's
team
lose with
that's
our
top
top guys.
heavy. You want a top heavy team, right? With like a bunch of role players that know the role players who won't get butt hurt if they like don't play more than one session in the first 2 days.
Or
Like
no
that's
session.
how it
There's no
works.
law that says they have to play a session. Just have
Yeah.
a guy like Kisner type. He's not going to make it, but like a match play
Yeah.
guy who just plays the singles. He's the 12th
Yeah.
guy on the team, course specialist, and you're
Totally.
riding with your big dogs. They'll
Yeah.
never do it because there's too many egos, but
Yeah. Never
why
do it.
not? Why not? And
In
they need to have those guys need to play the event, and they need to move the event closer to the Ryder Cup, the Zurich. I mean, the team event during
yeah,
the year.
I mean, yeah, kick off the fall with that or something. Yeah, who knows? All right, so, and last question for you. What other live guys are on the is like a Bryson back in the fold?
Yeah, we talked about that. Bryson's on the team next year. Bryson's back in form. He was injured.
You think no doubt he's at Bethpage?
Yes,
Yeah.
he's back. He's back in form. He was injured. He won the U.S. Open. He's got the distance. He's won a few times on live.
Yeah.
I got him 60-1 to win the Masters coming
Oh,
up.
I know.
He's a bomber. He's really young still. Whereas
Yeah.
Dustin Johnson's approaching 40. Bryson for sure. And then on the flip side of that, you want for the President's Cup, you want Cam Smith back in the mix on the
Oh,
internationals.
he's got
Um,
that dunker dog.
Neiman,
Yeah.
Answer. There's a lot of Carlos
Oh, the whole
Perez.
team. There was like 2 guys left when that all happened.
Yeah. I also think because they're trying to grow the LPGA and the Asians, specifically the South Koreans, dominate.
Yeah.
I do think it would be a great promotional event to do a male-female South Korea versus USA.
Just South Korea.
Dude, they're loaded on the women's side.
I know. I know they're loaded, but it'd be such
It's
a
like
neat.
have you seen Best of the Best, the Taekwondo movie?
Like, let's ignore all the other major markets and just corner the South Korean
Or
market.
Japan, you can go Asia versus. You can
Yeah,
do
like Asia. Yeah. Go the other way.
You
Yeah.
could do the same or the President's Cup for women then, whereas
Yeah.
Canadians have a few good ones.
Yeah.
I'm sure some good Japanese players. Because the Canadians play on the international squad,
Yeah.
and that would be a good cross promotion.
Yeah. I mean, it's a layup to kind of do both of them, and I think like the Solheim Cup and the Ryder Cup were kind of back to back. Like having it the same course back to back weeks would be kind of cool.
Or at the same time.
Like one big 2 week event of like you do the Solheim there and then you like bring the guys in behind. That could be interesting, but they're not going to do it.
I agree with that. I take back my comment at the same time because I think they want their standalone time.
Yeah, yeah. You'd have to stagger it like a little bit. You couldn't do like a tennis U.S. Open thing where it's like literally at the exact same time in the same venue. But
Dude, look, check out an LPGA leaderboard. Those ladies can swing, and 90% of them are South Korean. I'm telling you, man.
oh, I can't pronounce any of their names. God bless them, but like, yeah,
Anyways, I wanted to rant about the baseball playoffs real quick. Tampa with the
hit
no
me.
fans. What are you doing? I think it's time. I get the logic. I want your thoughts. I understand why there's two teams in Florida because the population is now bigger than New York. But the
Yeah,
population there, you have a large immigrant population, you have a large retiree population, and then a lot of those people that live down there move from Chicago, New York, Boston,
the
and they're
better.
Red Sox, Cubs, Yankees, Mets fans. There's no local fan base. Like, why
It,
are they still going after the Tampa and Miami market? Their
it's
spring
weird because
training,
like the Lightning games when they've been making their runs are nuts, but
yeah, the
they
Bucks,
but they
the
can't
Heat,
but they can't get the baseball going.
same with the Panthers. When they made their run with Brooks,
Yeah.
Brooks
Up on my
on
Brooks.
Brooks on drugs, yeah.
just just Brooks and his jaw just crushing those
But you know
games.
what I mean? It's like, and then you compare that to Minnesota
Yeah.
or Philly. Those places are rocking. And then you're
Yeah.
looking at Tampa. They win 99 games, and it's
And
like
and
a
it's not
Tuesday
like they
night
just
Kansas
showed
City.
up winning 99 games. Like they've been a really good franchise for like a while and they still can't get a critical mass. Like what's
Same
going
with
on there?
Miami. Miami didn't have a home game, but Miami during the season, they
Yeah.
haven't been good forever. They didn't draw at all. And then the World Baseball Classics there, and everyone's going nuts.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna move those franchises, but at some
Like where would
point
you even move like a Tampa?
they're not moving, so it's pointless. But
Yeah.
I would like to see Montreal get a team again.
I was gonna say like going back to a city that lost their franchise, like you can kind of see that.
I could see
Look at this.
Nashville's
20
getting pretty large.
27-3.
Yeah, Nashville. I think Nashville's getting big enough to get a team.
That'd be interesting because it's such a destination city. Like if you put the stadium like in around like walking distance from Broadway or wherever that main strip is, and made it almost like that city's almost turned to like Vegas of just like so many people are consistently there every weekend for getaways, bachelorettes and stuff like that. If it was like a thing to do to like oh yeah afternoon game and then go hit the bars like that'd be a home run.
And it's centralized enough so it's easy to travel to. I just wanted to comment on the lack of fans at Tampa. Ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, but ever since the Yanks have been out of it, I have not been all over the MLB playoffs. I'm a millennial. I guess I don't have the attention span anymore.
The Twins, man. First, my Twins.
I see it. I see it. New hat tonight. I like it.
It's not new. It just looks
How many
nice.
games do you go a year? Speaking of
Couple,
good
I go to
fans.
like two or three. I go to like 2 or 3 games a year.
Okay. All right.
I like the Mets, as you know, but I live
Yeah.
here, so I'm pulling for Minnesota. Obviously,
Yeah. It's a cool stadium, right?
it is a really cool stadium.
Yeah.
Ushers are really nice. The fans are in general pretty nice.
Good ushers. That's a Midwest thing.
They do, dude. They have polite, friendly ushers. If you ask them a question, they will give you an honest answer.
They'll actually be like, "Hey, thanks for asking.
Try that in New York.
Hey, how are you?"
Hey, how are you? No,
Right
one
over
time
this
I
way.
was there and I asked the usher, I go, hey, where's the best place to get cheese curds? Guy gave me a detailed answer.
Goes, all right, sir.
Yeah.
Section
What are we in?
73.
Yeah.
You're going up that spiral staircase, top, hang a left. That's your guy.
So the Twins, that was awesome. And
How far can
I'm
they go? How far
they're
can they
gonna,
go?
they're, this is it. They're
This
gonna
is
lose
it?
this round.
All
Yeah.
right.
Honest to God, I'm pulling for Baltimore. They sucked forever.
I know it's a
They're
sneaky
such a fun
story.
young squad.
Yeah, because they had those few years. I don't know. It's probably like 10 years back where they were like winning the division. It's like all right, like we know it's not going to work out. Or they get out to like an early, you know, early June. They'd have a 3-4 game lead. It's like oh, that's adorable. Not going to work out for you, but like it's cute. So
They
you
had
know,
they had with with Buck and Machado and Chris Davis. They had
They
like a
had some
1 2 year
guys.
run.
They
And
had
then
some guys
early
that just will
90s,
never.
that homer that was stolen by the kid at Yankee Stadium. And that's pretty
Oh yeah,
much it for in our lifetime with Baltimore.
that's it. That's it.
And then I always respected people around our age and younger that stuck with the O's instead of going over the Nats that grew up in that region. Like if
Yeah,
you are our age
that's for hot.
and
Yeah,
you grew up in the Mid Atlantic, you better be an Orioles fan and not a Nationals fan.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's true. That's true.
It would be like me abandoning the Bills. I spent 25, all 39 years rooting for them, but the vast majority of the time I've known you, they've been horrible.
Yeah.
It would be like, oh, I moved. I'm now liking the Vikings.
Yeah, but like you can never be a fully like switch the rankings Vikings fan. I know you don't even like kind of pull for them like too hard right now, but yeah, like if you ever flip,
The only local team that I pull for now uh, is the Minnesota Timberwolves. I didn't have an NBA team, the part of the world I grew up in.
here's a text anonymous. Bears haven't watched the game, but Commanders are plus 600 money line right now. I,
Yeah, I don't know about that. That might be
I
fresh
love
on my.
you. I love you. I'm not doubling down on this trash pile.
No way. It's 27-3.
That's a
All
great
right,
text, though. Oh
let's
man,
go
I
on
love
to
yeah,
NFL.
dude, tough week. I know I shot this to you earlier, but like, have you ever seen a week with one plus or minus three? Like they're all in these like one, one and a half, twos, or bigger, not four. It's so strange. There's no like just 5 games where it's like home team by 3.
I think I'm not ready to give all 5, but I think I'm decided to. I'm just gonna go with my dogs. As Dion says, I'm in Dion mode right now, man. I'm looking
Portable
at this
dogs.
thing. I don't know what to pick, and you know what? I'm gonna go with my dogs that I know are dogs and are good. I think I'm gonna go like the Bills, the Chiefs, the Niners. I'm thinking like just you know what? I don't know what
Oh,
to
it's
take.
not dogs as an underdogs. You're saying like the teams that
No,
are
the
dogs,
dogs, as in like how
like
Dion would use the word dog.
DAWGS. Yeah, I got you. All right.
Yeah,
There
yeah. Come on.
you-
So I'll give you my first pick to get us rolling.
Yeah,
I'm
not the
going with my
Commanders.
dog.
No
No,
Commanders. Okay. Yeah.
not the Commander. The Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. I like the Bills. Yep.
I'm gonna go with the Bills. They are my team. The only thing I'm concerned about is Jacksonville's already been in London and they've been there, and then the Bills are flying tonight there, so it's a major travel disadvantage.
We just
The
talked about
Bills,
that. Yeah.
yeah. The Bills
With
lost
Russia.
Trey White, their starting cornerback, so they're going to be rolling out some second stringers, but they got the D line. I think Von Miller's traveling to London, so he might even play a few snaps.
Yep.
I just think the way their offense is rolling, and it's a neutral field, and I think it's going to be 50-50 Bills fans with Josh Allen on Madden, and people are going there for the experience and not rooting against the team.
Yep. Yeah. That's one of the ones I had marked down. Um,
I'll let you go on the next one.
yeah. No. I'm gonna keep on riding the hot hand of the Lions. I'm not afraid of the 9.5. I'm going to keep on fading all of those NFC South teams until it doesn't work out. So yeah, I'm taking Detroit minus 9.5, hosting the Panthers. Yeah, it's just different quality ball club.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, and I think they're on like a little revenge tour, like this whole year. And anytime they can get the home team or the home crowd like really into it, I think they're gonna like put their foot down. And I don't know if Young's back for the Panthers officially yet, but
You
if he's
want
in,
Young. Yeah.
it's by a million. Yeah.
Well, I won't. Since you brought up Young, the one I'm thinking about taking the Patriots, but it's not an official pick yet because. But like you said, you want Young. I want Carr over Winston because Carr
You
is
definitely want
banged
Carr.
up.
Carr's shoulder is not 100%. It was a noodle arm. I mean, he
Like
threw
if
for
they
like
go with
100
Winston,
yards
I don't
last
know
week.
if I. If they go with Winston, I don't know if I take that because at
Winston,
least he can.
Winston's good for Winston came in for one snap through an interception. right? Like he
Yeah,
is. You can't
McCarr
help.
can't even move the ball downfield.
Yeah,
Kamara
I
had 13 catches for 30 yards last week. It's like that's unheard of.
but I guess who does Mac Jones play the whole game for the Patriots? Like I don't think you could go wrong betting against the Saints no matter what their quarterback situation is. I just wouldn't put a penny
Not an
on
official pick
that.
yet. I'm just spitballing here.
Yeah,
And then
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then
No,
the
for me it's I couldn't bet on the pass right now.
but it's this quarterback situation. Yeah. Another one that I am gonna go with is I am gonna go with the Bengals -3. Season on the line. The reports out of practice were Burrow. He's not listed on the injury report. He said it's feeling better. At some point, pride has to take over. And before the season, this I don't know what the official look ahead line was, but it probably was Bengals -8 or something like that.
On the road, yeah, it was probably somewhere around a touchdown. Yeah, it wasn't three. It was definitely.
If Burrow is feeling the best, this is their season's on the line. Their season's on the line. They got to go down there and get the W
Yep. Okay. Right. That's in Arizona, right? Yeah.
in Arizona.
Season on the line. All right. Yeah, I was thinking about continuing the NFC South team and taking the Texans. I just don't know if I fully trust them. I want to bet on the Texans. I want to be on the CJ Stroud train. I just haven't like watched enough of the games to be like, is it consistently for real? Can he go on the road and do it? So I'm eyeing that Texans game.
I'm eyeing
Uh,
that one too. Atlanta's coming back from London too without a bye.
yeah, like that's one of the ones where I'd love to have the full three. Um,
Yes.
like I don't know what a +2 does for me, but yeah, thinking about
I
the
wouldn't
Texans.
be surprised if you tune in and Texans are winning big, and now the storyline next week is Desmond Ritter's not the guy. We're going a different direction.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And at some point, the Texans, I feel like still haven't swung to like being a more than 3-point favorite. If they like romp this one, I think it swings the other way. You can probably fade them for a couple weeks until you like find that where they're supposed to be. Um, but
Yeah, I don't know
yeah,
if
I
they're ready to be a
think
road favorite yet.
yeah, no, exactly, exactly. Um, all right, I'm also looking at. I'm considering the bounce back Dolphins. Last week, very predictable. We both were on the Bills. Like could see that coming from a mile away. You don't throw up 70 and then 70 again on the road in the division. But the Giants have led for a total of what, one snap the entire season. I have no problem continuing to fade them. I'd love it at 10, but I'm not locking in for sure. But I'm leaning Dolphins as like the bounce back.
I think they roll too. I just don't know if I could take the line. The Giants were embarrassed, but I don't know if their problems were fixable.
They've been
Every
embarrassed
time
a
he dropped
bunch.
back,
All they've been doing
he
is getting embarrassed. Like I'm not worried
yeah.
about a bounce back. I mean, maybe, but
No,
on
I
the road.
meant like I meant more like can they fix their problems in a week?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, if you're playing what they're 1-3, you're going down to Miami. Very possible the guys enjoy the Miami experience. Don't really care about the game.
Dayball was ready to murder Danny Dimes on the sideline.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I was rewatching that game, and he made a lot of dumb mistakes. But there were some times where he wasn't even finishing his drop back, and there was already a guy on him.
Oh,
So
it
that
does not help the situation. Doesn't help.
no one can do anything with that.
Yeah. I mean, a couple of those, it was like, wait, did you guys all start on the line of scrimmage together? Like, how after 3 steps is there like one guy way over there? You got your right tackle, like, it's like, where's the pocket?
And
Like,
McDaniel is not a defensive coach, whereas a big spread, I'm not that worried with McDaniel versus like a McDermott. That's more thinking like, hey, let's milk this, let's punt. He's
yeah.
trying to score every time. Like I don't think you
Especially
have
at
to
home.
worry about a big spread with him.
Especially at home. Like, I feel like they're putting on a show for the crowd, right? Like, you don't get to 70 without having a little bit of that inside you.
Like I
Um,
said, my dogs, my DAWG, because
yep.
I don't like anything, so I'm just gonna go with my guys.
We got.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles
I was.
minus
I
four.
knew. I was scrolling down. Like, guarantee he takes
I'm
the Eagles.
going with the good teams because I don't know who to take. I think Stafford got a little banged up the last couple weeks. I
Yep.
just I just think the Eagles are significantly better. They're not going to have a problem moving the ball.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, I don't like the board at all. And I'm like, okay, am I going to take the Titans on the road? Am I going to take the Texans on the road? Am
Yep.
I going to take Mac Jones? I'm like, let's just ride the Eagles.
And then, like a bunch of those East Coast teams go to LA, you have, I don't know, 20, 30% like East Coast teams, if it's like the Giants or something like that. Like I got to imagine you're going to have a bunch of Eagles fans in there. So, um, I
LA
mean,
is not a LA. LA is not a football town.
yeah, no, looking at that one, I guess I really want to get involved in the Niners Cowboys game with the Cowboys.
Opposite
Getting the
side.
hook on the 3.5, but I don't know. It sounds a little dangerous. There's not much else I can really point from this. Like the
Well,
Baltimore
give me your
Steelers,
Cowboys
no
take.
idea.
Give me your
Was that
Cowboys take because I was. Give me your Cowboys take because I'm leaning Niners.
you're leaning Niners? I don't know. It's just like in that I hope it's I hope it's a really good game, right? Like Bucks are on the bye, so I'm gonna be just looking for like good tight games besides like spread stuff.
Yeah.
And I just hope that's like, a nice tight one that ends up being a field goal. Like I don't think that I'm not taking the Cowboys thinking they'll win by 10, but I would take it just to like be involved in that game.
Yeah, I might stay away from that. I just think Shanahan. I think the Niners are a little bit better than the Cowboys, and then you throw in the fact that they're home, and then you throw in the fact that Shanahan is head and shoulders better than McCarthy.
Yep.
The the two. I was thinking about maybe taking the Broncos, but then Zach Wilson kind of played well, and then, but like, okay, you're laughing at that, but are you going to go the window with the Jets on the road?
No.
It's a stay away, probably, right?
Yeah, that's like that. So many of these games, it's like Titans, Colts, Broncos, Jets. Like the Pats, Saints. It's just like I don't
On
have any
paper, I
confidence in either.
love the Pats. I just don't know if I get there because, like, we said it
You
last
love
week.
the Pats.
Well, no, I don't know on paper. I don't know if I'm going to get there because their three losses are three of the best teams, like I said last week.
Yeah.
This is like a kind of a Bengals situation where, if not now, when you're at 1-3 at home with Belichick and you just need to cover the one. Like, if this is not the end of the era, the Pats roll. If this is the end of the
If it is,
era,
if it is, then
well,
it could
that's
just be
why
a
I'm not
perfect
100%. This is a spitball, man. We're brainstorming here. And then another one where I don't know what to take is the Monday night game with Green Bay at Vegas.
Is
No,
it? No, it's at Green Bay.
no, it's not. It's actually at the thing you're looking at is wrong.
Oh, it's wrong. Okay, yeah, because
At
I
Vegas.
was like, why is only one? Okay, in Vegas, got to go to that stadium at some point. That looks just like
I'm down, man.
an unreal time.
Well, we'll
Uh,
go when Mandalay Bay opens up that mini golf thing I sent you.
can't wait. Can't wait.
Total non sequitur, so that our viewers will think I have ADHD, but I didn't bring it up in the golf thing, and then the mini golf just triggered it. What do you think of the Tiger indoor thing?
TGL.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. I think the first one is going to be like awkward and like not great. And they might get in their groove. But like I am the biggest Tiger Woods fan in the world, but I also love him because he's just such a nerd and like he's not like he should be like this fucking the man cool like but like he's not. So it's gonna be like, hey Tiger, what do you think? He's just gonna like clam up. Like he's
well,
not good
that's
at
my
that.
question. Are they going to have announcers like Nance and Romo, or are those guys going to be mic'd up? What's the plan?
It's got to be them all mic'd up. They're hoping for banter, right? Like we saw like the first match. Remember that? And it was like
That was
Phil was like,
cringe, man.
please. He's like, please say something interesting, and just like
But it was
nothing.
cringe. It was cringe.
No, it was cringe. No, exactly. So if they're looking for Tiger. By the way, would love to have you on the show. No offense, buddy, but
We'll go to Jupiter. Jupiter Woods, dude. We're going.
Like I fucking love Tiger Woods, but if it's a Tiger Woods led TV show, it's gonna be a tough ask.
All right, I was on golf Twitter, and so these aren't original thoughts. These are just like a combination. But some people were pitching, go WWE, get a villain squad, get a Sergio, Phil,
Oh
like
yeah,
you
bunch of
go
good
the
boys.
WWE route with a heel team. Like
Yeah,
Patrick
yeah. Yeah,
Reed,
if
Sergio,
it was
Phil.
Phil, Phil, Patrick Reed, Ian Poulter,
Yeah.
and Sergio might not even be like as bad. I don't know, Pat Perez, as someone, right?
Go the WWE route, man,
Yeah,
and make it a thing. That would be better. Then
yeah,
Rory and Tiger, who are clearly buddies.
yeah. No, I
It
hope
would be
it's interesting because like Tuesday night, like I don't know, I haven't watched anything live on TV on a Tuesday in forever. So like, that's great. Slot something interesting. I'm definitely gonna tune in, right? I watched all the match stuff, even the garbage ones, but I don't know. I'm not.
I'm interested that ESPN picked it up because they're not even promoting the baseball playoffs that are on ESPN.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? So we'll see. But I wanted your comments on that because I don't know. I don't know how it's going to be on TV.
I mean, hey, anytime we can watch Tiger Woods swing a golf club, I am like 100% in. I'm just like I'm nervous if they're gonna like just mic the guys all up and they want this like chatter that's gonna be interesting. I don't know.
What's the putting situation on those things?
Good question. Like maybe they just have one of those big putting greens, right? Like like the ones that can actually like oh exactly. Sorry for the listeners, but we're doing this with our hands,
Yeah.
showing the undulation of the greens.
Follow us on YouTube for the video.
Um,
What else you got?
that's it. Big game for our Texas Longhorns this week. Keep the Natty hopes alive.
Speaking of Natty, I have another idea for the group chat.
What do we got?
The Miami Hurricanes are undefeated. They've already beaten Texas A&M.
Okay.
They are 80-1 to win the Natty. They have they have Clemson and Florida State remaining, but they
I
have
was going to say
Clemson.
Clemson, Florida State. Anyone else wacky on their
North
schedule?
Carolina's ranked, but they have Clemson at home. Florida State's the last game of the year. They have Clemson at home. My logic to you at 80-1, because I believe that they will be favored in every game leading up to Florida State, is
North Carolina.
you can get them at 80-1, and they have the potential to be 11-0 going to Florida State. If they're 11-0 going to Florida State, they're not going to be 80-1 because the winner of that game is going to go. It's
All
a
right,
chance to go from 80-1.
I got their schedule. Hold on. Florida State is the third to last game, so it's Georgia Tech, ranked North Carolina, Clemson, Virginia, NC State, Florida State, November 11th, Louisville, ending with BC.
Okay, yeah, that very thorough research here by the dads. 3 kids.
The internet bailed me out. I would have no idea on that. Okay, so
Either way, okay, they should be undefeated going into Florida State. Keep in mind they destroy Texas A&M, and Texas A&M is only like a 1-point underdog against Bama this week. So
averaging like 40 a game.
What happens if Texas A&M beats Bama this week? Now you have a win over the team that's in the driver's seat for the SEC West.
Yep.
They're 80-1. I'm not saying they're winning the title. I'm saying this is a team that's 80-1 that could be 15-1 in 3 weeks.
Right.
And you have access to Sports Trade in Jersey, so
If you, yeah, I mean it's that Florida State game, right? Like that could potentially be for that conference, more or less.
yeah,
Driver in the conference.
it's just a thought. Since we were talking about college, and nothing.
Yeah, no, hey, don't hate it. All right.
And then I also wanted to mention that our Lafayette Leopards are 4-1 this year in the Patriot League. I I saw their score over Bucknell on the bottom line on Saturday. And I jotted that down.
I really want. I was trying to go to homecoming last week, but we had our big neighborhood block party, bring it back to the dads. I can't ditch the girls for that. But next year, I got to be at homecoming. It's only 45 minutes away.
I will never ever attend another homecoming, but I wouldn't mind swinging. I wouldn't mind swinging by in the summer and doing a loop around campus and then playing mini golf.
No Lehigh Lafayette.
I'm never going back, man. Never. That place stole $250,000 from my parents. That could have been my inheritance.
Straight highway robbery. I know I have a free putt-putt game in my desk right now from 2T's Mini Golf.
From 20 years ago?
From the 5 year.
Oh, okay.
5 year. Remember we went on the Saturday?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. 2T's. I know I have it somewhere.
Well, this isn't exactly great radio, but
It's got Stella's name written all over it. But all right. What else we got? Hopefully this recording worked out.
Oh yeah, hopefully. I'm just excited for Major League Baseball playoffs. I'm really excited for Braves Phillies as a baseball fan. I think both stadiums are going to be rocking.
Yep.
I'm just pumped for my Bills, and I'm pumped for NHL and NBA to start too.
But I think big statement game for the Bills. It's sneaky where it's like, all right, there's another game where you're kind of favored in that 4 to 6.5 point range, which means that like Vegas doesn't know what to do with you, right? If you're a good team, like they throw you right at the 6.5, 7. If there's no confidence, you bet the 3, and they're just like, I don't know, like roll out whatever team you got.
If this game is in the United States, they absolutely murder them.
Well, that's true.
It's just the travel and the rest. It's like, I don't know.
But they,
I got no other sizzling hot takes right now.
Coffee football will take it. I didn't watch much of because I was watching Ryder Cup last Sunday, so I didn't really watch much of the that last London game. But this one I'll be tuned in.
All right, man. That's all I got.
All right. Good stuff, buddy. I'll see ya.
Talk to you soon.